to use. We must find the x-intercept, we must find the y-intercept. Well, once we find those points, then we're gonna put them on the graph, then we see what happened. So there are two scenarios that can happen. If the slope are different, then you will find a solution. If they have the same slope, same y-intercept, you will have many solutions. Same slope, different y-intercept, the lines are parallel, there will be no solution. So your goal is to find x-intercept. X-intercept is, when you find x, in other words, you replace 0 for y, that's called x-intercept. Y-intercept, you replace 0 for x, then you solve for y. Those are the points that you are looking for each equation, and also you can identify what the slope is, then you grab that. Look at equation 1, where you have y equal 1/2 x plus 5. What form is that? Slope intercept. In this case, they already give you 1 point. Which point is giving to you?
Y.
The y-intercept is giving to you. Right? In this case, how will you write it as another period?
0, 5.
0, 5. And what is the slope of the equation?
1/2.
M is 1/2. Right? Now the only thing we're missing is the x-intercept. In order to find the x-intercept, you can replace y with 0. Other than that, just keep the equation as is, then you solve for x. So we're going to leave it as is, then you solve for x. How will you solve for x in that equation? What will you do to solve for x?
Plug in 5.
What will you do? Or if you want to get the fraction, what will you do? Multiply everything by what?
2.
By 2. When you multiply by 2, what you end up with? Keep multiplication. We multiply everything by 2. That will give you 2y equal, be careful, 1 what? 1x plus 10. Now your goal is to get x by itself. How will you get x by itself?
Subtract 10.
You subtract 10, then your equation will be in x-intercept form. Then you will end up with x equal 2y minus 10. In this case, what is the x-intercept?
Minus 10.
Minus 10. When x is negative 10, y is 0. Then you done for this equation. Then you go in the other equation, you do the same process again. Look at that equation. What form is that? Kind of standard, right? Then we're going to do the same thing again. Let's put it in slope intercept from y from x plus b. Let's solve for y. If you were to solve for y, what will you do?
Subtract 2x.
You subtract
2x.
2 third x on this side. And you will end up with y equal negative
2/3.
2/3 x minus 2. Then we should know the y-intercept. What is the y-intercept?
0, 2. That means 0.
0, 0 what?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. What is the slope?
So right there.
Be careful.
Oh, negative 2.
Negative 2/3. Now, we have the y-intercept, we have the slope, we only need the x-intercept. So, once again, we're going to do the same thing to get the x. So, multiply this by what?
3.
By 3. If you multiply by 3, what you end up with? 3y equal, be careful, negative 2x
Minus 6.
minus 6. Now let's solve for x. We want x to be by itself. What will you do?
Divide by 3.
We want x without solving for y, we solve for x.
Minus 6.
2x.
Add 2x, that's no problem. Then you will have 2x plus 3y is equal to negative 6. Almost there. We need x to be on one side by itself. What do? You subtract 3y on the other side. And you will end up with, what you will end up with?
3y minus 6. Oh, sorry.
2x equal negative 3y minus 6. Then how will you find x by itself?
Divide.
You divide by
2.
2, then it's in the x-intercept form. Then you will have x equal 2 minus 3 half y. And what is that?
3.
Negative 6 over 2,
Negative
negative 3. Then that is your x-intercept. How will you write it as another period?
Negative 3, 0.
Negative 3, 0, good for you. Then guys, now we are ready to plot those points and find each one of the line. So this, we go all the way to negative 10. So we count, we got negative 1, 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, negative 9, and negative 10. Is that right? Should be on the other side, right? On the x side. So negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, negative 9, negative 10. That's where we have that on the x-axis at negative 10 unit. And y is 0, 5. Where will you go? Where will you plot 0, 5?
on
And
the
I do this for you
x-axis.
people. It's on the y-axis, you go up 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Good morning, teachers and students. Tardy tank students have now been released. Teachers, please note their tardy in your grade book and in the checklist if necessary. Thank you.
You use your ruler, you put it on those two dots, your 2 points, right? The y and the x-intercept, and you draw the line. This is that equation, y equal 1/2 x plus 5. This second equation, we have negative 3, 0, right? Where's negative 3, 0? You go how many units to where? To the left. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. That's 1 point. And the other one is 0, negative 2. Where do you go? You go down 2 units. And that's the other point. Once again, to find your ruler, connect those two dots again. And you draw the line. And as you can see, that they intersect. Your goal is to determine the point of intersection here. That would have been here. Do you know what point is that? We can count, right? Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, right? When x is negative 6, what is y? How many? 2. That is the solution of the system. That's where your misery ends. Like if you were to use elimination of substitution, you will find the solution directly at this point, right? So that's the beauty of graphing. You can graph it and see it visually, or you just solve and find the outcome correctly, and that's where this problem ends.